And now, for the second attempt at the second episode, this is Rossman Live with me, J-Man, and the good-looking guy sitting next to me. What's your name again? Pexy. Ken Pexy Ross. Hey, buddy.
There you go, man. What's going on?
I'm still getting over the first attempt of our second episode. I thought it went pretty well, and as you know, we discussed in the while we weren't on air there, I need you to be surprised all over again, just so that we keep the the same effect, because not everyone's going to tune into the fuck up episode then to our episode. So
I'm always surprised with you, Jay.
You should be.
You know what you always do before the main set? You always do a warm up, and that's what we've done. We've just done a half-hour warm up, and now we're into the main set.
Fair enough. You should be excited.
Guaranteed not to tear anything.
Alrighty, so if you tuned into the very first episode, you would have seen a look of shock and dismay on Pexy's face as I paraded him on Facebook Live playing with his testicles live in an interview. I felt a bit uncomfortable. I must admit, you probably feel uncomfortable too, but it's something that had to be done, and I'm going to do it again. So, without any further... Oh, there you go.
And here's me looking.
What are you looking at, mate? What you looking at there? I know what you're looking at.
I'm looking shocked, Jay.
Yeah, you like it.
Wow,
yeah, I like that.
Actually, where did you find that?
On YouTube, dude.
Mine?
Here we go. Look at that. All right. Look at it. Okay. Now we fast forward a little bit from the first attempt. The first attempt was a bit of you just tapping your boobies and everything. But now look, you're going down and then you're working your way up. What is going through your head right now? Like,
not much. I'm probably starving to death at that point, Jack.
Fair enough. Have you been out? Do you remember this at all? Or?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, dude.
I've done a few shows, so they become a bit of a blur.
Yeah, but you've only done a few interviews, so you think that'd stand out, especially when you're touching yourself up on camera.
Thousands
of interviews.
All paid for as well.
Yeah. Shame only 2 or 3 of them made it to air. Now, so here we go. Oh, a little bit of a play. Oh, now he goes in. So, look, you're still touching yourself up there. Now you're going for your bum.
Is anyone else in the world seeing this apart from you and I, Joe?
Well, I don't know. I think we had one person tune in already, and Eric's on the Zoom there. He'll see it when he watches this back. It's pretty fascinating stuff, Eric. Just to let you know, I know Eric's in the waiting room right now.
He's in the green room.
He's in the green room.
There's actually nothing on the screen, Eric. We're just faking this. It's all scripted rubbish.
That's Rose.
Rose.
Yeah. She's quite a phenomenon in the INBA, isn't she?
Well, yeah, she's back in Flex R6. Did you know that?
Really? Even after you touching yourself up in an interview with her? No one look. She keeps looking back at the camera and just laughing.
Back in black. There you go.
Back in black. I love it. Back in tan. Yeah.
All right, let's get on the show, Jay.
That was. I thought the first time round went a lot better because there was a lot of shock factor there. What are you going to do? Suck it up?
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a second episode to get through right now. I think we've sort of lost a bit of mojo from the first attempt, but hey, we're in it, for good and see it right the way through. So, Pexy, we do have a guest,
yes,
which is a good mate of yours.
Yep.
And would you like to do a little intro?
I will. He's got about 5 minutes left because we've gone a little over time. But all the way from California, USA.
Are we paying him for this?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you are. All the way from California, USA, INBA Hall of Famer, PNBA Wolfpack member, ace photographer for INBA, PNBA, Iron Man magazine writer and contributor, and Global Natural Sports magazine superstar. Actually, the man that pretty much does everything for that, Mr. Eric Lipton. Welcome, Eric.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. Thank you for that very short delay of 49 minutes while we got our shit together.
Was it 49 minutes?
Yeah,
you guys have me laughing the whole time, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're pretty funny guys.
It's all part of the show.
It is. Did we actually get anywhere in the first attempt? We were talking about how good you are and how bald Pexy is, but I'm not talking about there either. So just tell us a little bit about you, mate. Where do you come from? What do what do you do? What's your claim to fame? Because Pexy thinks that you're a pretty famous guy here.
Well, I think I don't know if it's claim to fame, but my mission, I think, is to get more people physically active, help people age well. So I think that's been a big driving force. I was into that even when I was young. I knew that I'd still be doing this when I was older like this. And I really want to help people realize that they could age well, the whole lifespan, to be active, be physical. So that's probably my mission. I work in healthcare primarily, occupational therapist, and personal trainer, besides the writing and the bodybuilding and everything. But I think that is what I'm really born to do, is to help people to age well, to be physical throughout the whole lifespan. So
That's
I
awesome, man.
think that's about it.
I love it. I'm getting old myself. I could probably do with some help. Unlike this guy who's beyond
We
it.
all do get older. It's
Everyone except me.
but it's true, like this. That's right. But with the bodybuilding, really, you see people seem to be ageless. It's like going to a reunion every year and everyone stays the same. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing. I mean, decades. They really age well. So if the public could get just a little piece of that, they could really realize things can change. It's not inevitable that aging is bad. We can really extend that period of being at your best. So I love it.
I reckon.
love it.
I reckon too. There's a really easy way that we could ensure that the public and the listeners and the viewers actually get a piece of the action, and we've got to offer a free tanning service. What do you reckon?
Yes. I actually do have a tanning gun at home, Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I've never used it. Actually, I paint myself with a roller, Eric. Old school.
Oh, yeah. Dream Tan
Yeah.
roller.
Actually, with a base coat we used to sell in Australia here called Contest Colour. It's defunct now. But
They find lead in it.
yeah, probably everything arsenic, lead. But no, it was a really good product. It used to have used to dry your skin out and everything. Was fantastic for bodybuilding, not for aesthetic purposes, but bodybuilding. But my record is 7 minutes to paint the whole body with a roller.
Wow.
No smudges. How's that?
No smudges. No little white cracks.
Yeah, right in the right in the same gym you trained at, Joe.
Ooh.
I was naked. Anyway, back on topic. Eric, there were some wildfires there in California recently. Have they been extinguished?
No, I think they're still going. It's not as bad in the Bay Area. That the air quality's gotten better, but it was horrific. And it was about 2 weeks ago. It looked like we were on Mars. I mean, the sky, I've never seen it, was completely orange. I've never seen anything like it. And it really was dark the entire day. So it's the craziest looking day I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been kind of rough. And I don't think it's ended. And actually, because it's not supposed, really doesn't rain much until November, December. We're really in for a period of risk here. So
yeah,
definitely it's a possible problem.
As you know, we had the same problem here in January, February this year. Here in Australia, it was horrendous, the worst for like 20, 30 years. So it looks like we've passed that on to you. So I think it's only fair that you give us Trump and Biden back. Is that okay?
If you had to pick between the two, what would you pick? A shotgun? I reckon I would.
I heard, Eric, that I didn't watch it, but the debate was an embarrassment.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it was kind of shocking even. So
It's not looking good for the next 4 years.
It's been a bad week.
Yeah.
Wow.
I reckon.
The debate was bad, and then COVID next. So it's like, oh my God.
Can't get worse, can it?
But I mean, before COVID kicked in, Trump was meant to be doing well there as far as generating jobs and doing stuff. Is that true, or is that just media bullshit?
I don't, it's hard to attribute it to any. I mean, I think it was doing well. We had the big in 2008, the meltdown, and it was in recovery ever since, really. So it's hard to know, how much of it was just sort of coming up from Obama and then how much was Trump. And so it's really hard to know. But since 2008, it was a very nice steady growth in jobs. And so really hard to know if it was, an effect, or if it was Trump, or if it was just a continuation of Obama. Hard to know.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So so looking forward, how do you think that Biden or Trump's going to affect the fitness industry? Because I know over there, he hasn't really shut down things or managed the pandemic. Say like here in Canberra, for quite an extended period of time, the gym's closed. We weren't allowed outdoors for a bit, just to break the cycle. I mean, that has a huge impact on the economic environment, obviously, but just localizing it to the fitness environment. So, I mean, how do you think of the fitness in economic environment's going to come through this?
Great question. Well, even prior to the pandemic, some of the major gyms were in financial trouble here.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't realize that. Like my particular gym, which is it's a major chain, was already filing for bankruptcy before this.
Wow.
Or they were in danger of it, and they have subsequently. So I think the industry was in a little bit of trouble anyway, and so this just compounds it, no doubt. And then in California, we were same thing. We briefly opened up. It was closed for months, briefly opened up, closed, and now it just opened again like 2 weeks ago. So it's been very brief for us coming back as well in California.
Yeah.
In our part of California, each area. So I think in the U.S. it's dramatically different state to state. So it's been more of a local level kind of thing. So if you're asking how it might change, that probably would continue if it was Trump, where it's going to be statewide. Where I think if it's Biden, it may be a more of a unified policy, whatever it turns out is my guess. But either way, I think it's going to really depend on how does this pandemic go. So I think in California, it wouldn't shock me if they closed down again. Certainly the lesson of the 1918 pandemic, flu pandemic, was it got very bad in the fall and winter of 1918. So that's always a possibility that it can rebound again, and then we'll really be
amazing.
Probably close down again.
Jay survived that one amazingly, Eric.
Good one.
What's
Don't worry.
1918? You look great for 100 or something.
Eric, don't laugh. Just encouraging. So going back to the start of the pandemic, I mean, it shocked everyone here with the flow-on effect. So when you are someone, say like myself, that does rely on doing weights to help maintain mental health and everything, and then it's all suddenly cut off. I mean, I'm not the only one in that boat, but how do you think people are doing over in America or worldwide that relied on this sort of exercise, and their avenue for achieving their goals has been cut off on them?
I'm sure there's a lot of depression over it. I mean, this is a major, for any of us to take it seriously, it's like one of the major things we do in life. So guaranteed a lot of people are hurting. What's amazing is I went back, I was surprised. Those that have come back, I'm surprised that there's a lot of people still in fantastic shape. So they kept doing something clearly, because the gyms were closed here except for a couple of weeks, for 6 months. Wow. So I'm kind of amazed at how many people still look pretty good there. So there, some people have home gyms or whatever. They must be doing something like that.
Yeah.
So, but I do think the average person, there's got to be a lot of difficulty, a lot of depression. I do think more people are taking it outside, though. I've noticed that, like some of the places that I, go take pictures, I'd be all alone in the past. So now there's people just lined up everywhere, and there's people hiking. So I think that there's more fitness, maybe just general fitness going on. But I do think that those of us who make this a whole lifestyle struggled without the gyms. It's hard to replicate it. And it's not just the weights, it's a social atmosphere for a lot of people too.
Yeah. So, I must admit, I mean, there's nothing like one of those young guns in there, nice and loud, swinging the weight around and thinking that he's, God's gift to the world. Love that social aspect of the gym.
Well, at least there's for some people, it's the way they it's a social element for some people. How about that? But I know that's true. I don't necessarily miss that.
Yeah, I must admit, when it first kicked in for me, I decided, I mean, this studio that we're in now, to convert it into a home gym. But even I must, I was one of hundreds of thousands of people, because the stock supply for, getting equipment, weights, everything, it was ridiculous. And, I found myself, buying secondhand crappy old iron weights. You know what I mean? Just so that you'd have something. I'm now not too bad. We're several months down the track, and I wasn't talking about the weights you gave me either. It was another purchase I made. Your weights they're pretty good. But yeah. So hopefully, the stocks will replenish soon, and people can get it together.
Same thing here, by the way. It's that they're missing very, very expensive, and even if you look at the used stuff, it's through the roof. What sort of got me through, of all things, I had some exercise bands I bought in the 90s. They were sitting in a bag since the 90s.
Wow.
And shockingly, they haven't broken yet, which I worry about. I don't want to end up like, you see those videos where someone's pulling it, it breaks and hits them in the, hit themselves in the face or whatever. But they've been hanging in. Luckily, I had an old kettlebell that I can slip some light dumbbells into. I make it so it's like a kettlebell, couple dumbbells inside of there, and then I'm holding a dumbbell on top of it. So it's ridiculous. Like it's 4 different dumbbells at once, and then, but I'm making it work. And then I'm holding a band on top of it. Like if I'm doing rows. So somehow it's crazy. So it's so nice to go, at least for a few days, to go back to the gym, and it's like a regular weight and it feels safe. It's not you're not balancing a dumbbell on top of another one, any of that, because I don't have anything heavy.
Actually, Eric, Jay found some old rubber items from the 90s that he used, and now he has 2 children.
Wow. Let's just let that soak in, shall we? Yeah. Right. And I thought you were going to ask a good question or something. No. Yeah, I was going to actually suggest, Eric, before Pex decided to enlighten us with his whatever shit that was that he enlightened us with. No, it's not weird. Okay, it's a little bit of weird, but all right. So I was just going to say, mate, cable ties.
They're a bit painful, though.
Cable ties?
Yeah, man. You get a dumbbell on top of a dumbbell, cable tie it.
Oh,
You can actually
okay.
use metal cable ties as well. So, a little less stressful.
Exactly. If it shuts down again, I'm going to do that. And I was thinking of getting some chains somewhere too. I think that might be another thing. But yeah, because otherwise it really can shut down again and I'll be in the same boat again.
Yeah.
And what you really miss is going back. I find like the stabilizing muscles, like if you're trying to put a barbell on to do some squats, you're just not used to it. And so it's funny, but that upper back gets so sore from trying to balance a barbell if you haven't done it in months. You forget how much it affects everything when you do it. So that's where it really shows you how many muscles like a deadlift or squat is involved in, is when you haven't done it in a while. And then, oh my God, we're trying to keep this weight up. It's like, oh my God, was I sore? So it's shocking, but it's great to be back.
Yeah. And I've seen pictures of Eric. He posts them on Instagram. He looks the same after 6 months.
It's really weird, but somehow I maintained, and I trained every day, and I kept the cardio up really hard.
Yeah.
But it was, at least when I'm in training at home, it's nonstop. It's like one huge superset. So even if it's not as much resistance, but let's say if it's the bands and I'm doing a lat pull, you can close it on top of a door, and I'm holding 6 handles, right? Each one has 2 handles, and it's 3 of those things. So, and it's lined up well for the lats, as long as it doesn't come out and hit you in the face. But it's which I worry about.
Yeah.
And I was still able to do chin-ups when I came back, and done a chip in 6 months, but I could still do them, shockingly. So it's enough resistance to keep me going. But somehow I took pictures, and it was from one date the year prior. So I just took them again, and it looked exactly the same. There was no difference at all. So somehow I was able to maintain. I guess it's all the years in, but it's just getting back in the gym. I'm just extra sore. Like I'm just not used to those. But I was amazed. Like I really could still use some weight. It just hurts. Really feels terrible afterwards, but I can use heavy weights immediately.
You know,
So
the good part about a layoff is, Eric, and you'll know this, we've all done it either from an injury or a worldwide pandemic, which happens every 3 years. But when you come back to the gym and you get sore, you know your form's good.
yeah,
You're targeting those muscles. Those muscles are sore. You go, well, hang on, that's good, because you'll keep doing the same or similar exercises for the next year, and you won't get as sore, which is what happens. But you can be rest assured you're still using the same form, and you're actually using more weight, so you are still targeting that muscle and putting more stress on that muscle. So it's a good. I use that as a learning curve.
yeah, I agree with you all the way. Between that and it allowed some of the joints to heal.
Yeah.
Some of the things that were really hurt and bothered me for months, and you don't give them a chance to rest. So even though you're doing the similar exercise, just slightly changing the movement pattern really, really helps. So let me move this. There we go. So it really helps. So it made everything feel a lot better. Feel fresh again, feel young.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
how old are you now, Eric?
It's good. 55.
Doing well, isn't he?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, killing it.
Show us the guns, mate.
How did that happen? 55. I don't know how the heck that happened. There we go.
Tricep looking good.
Oh, I don't know how we get up to 55. The lads, boom. They're out today. It worked good. Woo, crap. I was rowing heavy the whole thing. So, because I hadn't done a barbell row in probably 6-7 months, and I went up 200 pounds. Which isn't bad because it really has been that long. And then, and so I kept adding a little bit more weight. And this isn't so bad. And so next time I add a little bit more. So it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Good.
Well, what about you guys? You guys look good. How old are you?
What are you, Jay? 72 or 3?
You're older than me. I'm 48.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm only 53, Eric.
See, that's what it's all about, though. We're going strong.
Yeah.
That's what's important. And there's a whole generation of people, a whole generation that's keep going. And we've got goals. So it's not just physical, but it's mental.
Yeah.
We're engaged in life, and we're going to be, even when we're a lot older. And that changes the whole thing. So I think it's as much mental as physical.
Yeah, you keep your mind.
I feel energetic and
you keep your mind young, Eric, and everything follows suit.
100%. And that's what I'm bummed about. Like, we are planning, we'll do the Olympia this year. We're planning to, assuming it still goes forward. I'm assuming it's going to, but not having the international crowd kills me. And that's what makes it. I know we'll have limited, very few probably international, I would think. And talk about engagement and excitement and seeing your friends from around the world. And I'm going to miss the heck out of that. We'll appreciate it more than ever when it comes back. But this year, it just won't be the same without everybody. That's for sure.
That's probably the highlight for me. It's just catching up with everyone.
Completely the highlight. That's what it's about. It's the connection. Not about placing. None of that matters. It's for me when I compete. It's contributing. Hopefully, it pushes me to be a little bit better than it would be otherwise. But and it contributes to the experience for everybody. But it's that connection.
Yeah,
the connection is what makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
So
Eric's amazing. He and I compete in the same category along with usually 12 other guys at Smashes, but we have fun.
They're gigantic. They're gigantic. It's unreal.
But Eric, in there in his posing trunks backstage, and we're all getting ready to go on stage. He's taking pictures of everyone. Puts his camera down, runs out on stage, does his thing, comes off and starts taking more pictures.
I remember. When we're doing the radio show.
He's great.
I've done that. I've done that right before. I've done it when someone's posing. I'm posing next, and I've taken pictures of them.
Put the camera down.
And one of the local shows, this guy Pika, he was out there, and then taking his pictures. I put it down and run out there. Why not? So I haven't gone out on stage with it yet. That's next. That's what.
Front cam.
Why not? It's a way to contribute to everybody, to contribute to the event.
It's great.
And so it's really to have fun. That's the whole thing's to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well,
because who would have thought we'd get a chance to be doing this stuff, right? When you first got into it, do you think you'd be like competing internationally with all these people? What an experience.
The first place I ever went to in Europe, Eric, was Slovakia. Could you imagine coming?
Oh my God.
You guys go, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go to Slovakia. Oh my God. But it was great. It was fantastic. It was, well,
Yeah, they say it's a beautiful, like it's just a beautiful country.
yeah,
So it would have been unobtainable in the past, right? I mean, we grew up, it was communist, and so
oh, yeah,
it was a place you couldn't go to. So it's amazing.
yeah, it was great. But
Surprised you didn't come home with a wife.
I wanted to go to Dubai. That was good.
Dubai?
Yeah, Dubai was great.
Awesome.
Same thing, bodybuilding.
Is it true that the cops cruise around in Lamborghinis?
Sort of. The taxis in Dubai are Lexus.
Wow.
So the
Oh man.
cars are Lexus, yeah.
There you go.
It was amazing.
Wow.
So,
I did
I wish I could have done that. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do some of the, I've only been able to travel a few times internationally, but it was so worth it. I mean, and I went with Denny and IMBA to New Zealand one time, and it just was mind blowing to me that all of a sudden we're in New Zealand. It's not a place I thought I would have gone. It was unbelievable. We loved it.
Yeah.
We even considered moving there. We loved it so much. You know, we really started to look into that.
wow.
So you just don't know, right? And then I went, one time I went to Germany for a competition, which was just fun. It was unreal. I'd never been to Europe before. I was just blown away by the, world history, just blown away by everything I was seeing. So I can't imagine the places you've gone, Ken. And I don't know if you've done a lot of traveling, Jay, but I just can't imagine like all the stuff you've seen, Ken. So
Yeah, I did Europe on my honeymoon, but we didn't see much of the cities. Yeah.
His wife saw the shrinking tower of Pisa. Right.
Well, we all get old, eh? And it does get colder. You know.
Actually, I was looking at my website the other day. I found a testimonial on there. The first one was you and Tina, your wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God.
I think I paid you $50 for the comments.
No, we got free protein powder. I remember it clearly.
Did you?
Yeah. So hey, so Eric, back to the interview. Rather than
The crap we're going on with.
yeah, he'll come out with vampires in a sec. So just be warned, mate. So moving forward, right? So we got the current environment. What sort of strategies do you think you could put into your daily routine just to maintain your fitness? What's some tricks or some advice? What do you reckon?
Oh, for anybody or for anybody?
Well, I guess if you've got anybody who's just your casual gym member, and then you've got people like
Oh yeah. Well, I think first of all, if you can do something almost every day, and everyone's got a different kind of job. If you're still going to work, or if you're working remotely, as a lot of people are now, can you get out at lunch and walk? Because we're all sitting